My name's Pete Murata. I'm the founder of Training Bridge, and we're in the medical tech sector, specifically focusing on education, manufacturing design of modular open access simulation. Get to the right. Here we go. So how many of you have ever had an IV or a blood draw and they've had to stick you more than once? Welcome to medical practice. So what we're trying to do is train people and fail early before they get to you and have to stick you 6 times or any other procedure. So the idea of medical practice is fail early and often to develop mastery. The systems are hardware-based, but they also embed a lot of different technologies, whether we're talking skilled trainers, full body mannequins, multiple mannequin systems, and clinical settings, all varied types of settings. So you're talking VR, augmented, AI, as well as traditional hardware-based technologies. Customer concerns really fall into 2 categories that we're focused on. One is from the educator standpoint who's trying to teach students, how difficult is it to manage the system? And is the technology getting in the way of applying proper teaching? Or how do I improve my students' outcome? The other are clinicians who find or see problems in the field, come up with solutions, but because of the limitations of the industry, they can't access that to market. So the industry is built on silos. Currently, the major manufacturers silo around closed IP. So they're more interested in protecting the IP that they have rather than bringing outside IP in to innovate. Why? Because technically it's a challenge for them. So our business model actually looks to take advantage of that weakness of our competitors. What are we looking at? We want to be able to have the ability to access and bring in, become the channel for that innovation. And when we look at that open access modular strategy, we're seeing Slate is an example of another industry using modular design to use outside innovation to improve the product on a continuous basis. So yes, we both have the same haircut and we both like the same business model. Our business model focuses on the fact that we understand whatever we have, whatever we generate from an IP standpoint, somebody's going to come up with a better idea. So now, if we become the path for that innovation to come into the market, that in itself is a very powerful innovation. Because now you've got continuous innovation that other people are spending time and resources to develop. We just have to assist in that process. When we look at the market, the current market is around $5 billion for medical simulation. When we look at research, just on the idea of translational research, on direct patient care research, in the US, about $25 billion a year. Currently, the medical simulation market doesn't even address that market space. Why? Because their own IP blocks that innovation to market. So what? So now we start looking at the case of 90 seconds. Why is 90 seconds important? So we're working with DoD to resolve a problem. If we train field medics the way we did 20 to 30 years ago, we know in the current environments that they're likely to deploy, if they use those methodologies, they and the person they're caring for will be dead in 90 seconds. That's how long it takes to triangulate on electronic signals in the field. So now we have to have adaptive solutions that are going to allow people to train more effectively in the field. So that means we can't rely on having static IP or static solutions. So our approach is developing systems that are modular. So our wound cell is currently going through validation work and research at Quinnipiac University for hemorrhage control. This unit is designed to drop into our leg unit, and that leg unit is going to fit on our mannequin. So depending on the level of training, whether we're talking the classroom, the sim lab, or out in the field, they're able to train effectively. Plus, now we're able to change that single module to represent the wounds both location and types that they're likely to find depending on where they're going to operate. So again, this is just one example of modularity. When we say DoD, it also has civilian applications because it's not just limited to the military. We start looking at first responders, the Red Cross Stop the Bleed program, as well as medical staff around the country. These basic skill sets that we can help teach at a higher level with the technologies that we can drop into very simple systems actually can improve the outcomes dramatically. So where is Training Bridge today? Training Bridge right now, we started a bootstrap. We've been shipping product for just under a year. We're cash positive. We anticipate hitting an annualized rate of around $1 million by Q4 of this year. Our focus is on using a very lean design and manufacturing strategy. The members of our organization, the three primary founders, represent about 50 years of experience within the industry. We've outsourced our marketing and sales through established players in the market that we've had long-term relationships with. And we have 3 new products that we'll be going to market in Q3 of this year. Our primary next major gate that we're looking at is to expand facilities for scaling. And we're looking at Q4, and we're looking at the Albany area, particularly for access of labor. So what are we looking for here tonight? Well, one is, obviously, we're looking for innovators. Anybody who's going to be looking at technologies, whether it be traditional mechanical, electrical engineering software, also people who are involved in VR, augmented reality, and AI, that see a path to a solution to a problem in direct patient care. So those are the people that we're definitely looking at engaging with. The other is we also understand where we are in our business path, is that gap between $1 million and $10 million. So we're looking at the potential of bringing in an outside investor to help us do that rapid movement through that very difficult period of transition as we start scaling our administrative staff and scaling our production. So to steal words from Steve Jobs, do you want to sell sugar water or do you want to make a difference? And this is really what the core of what we're trying to do, is being able to deliver a modular tool to educators and innovators in the industry that can deliver new innovative solutions to advance medical education at all levels to deliver better care for people. We have a shortage of staff around the world, and we know that exists here in the U.S. This is a path for us to be able to work with. Thank you.
Can you demonstrate the product?
Yeah, so this is, again, stealing from our friends at Amazon. They started selling books. We started selling arms. And knowing the industry, what's unique about this is not that we have an IV arm, is that we made 3 different clinical presentations for male, female, and geriatric. Because as an RN, I can tell you, each one of those groups have a different IV or needle access presentation than the other. And what was our mission? Make our students fail. We want them to fail before they get to the patient. One presentation is not going to do it. So we've sold in 9 months, I want to say, about 400,000 on the arms.
Yes, hi. So I'm not too familiar with the alternatives within the market, but your product, how does it compare to the other options that are available? Does it save money, is it more expensive, or is it just like a better tool to educate?
Well, one is the better aspect for education, but where our real innovation is, this arm is a submodule to our full body mannequins that are coming out this summer, which is one of the 3 major products. So our major innovation, again, going back to our business model, is modularity with open access. So we're going to have an IV arm, but we're also talking to people who are looking to innovate with ultrasound so that when they fail on doing the IV access, the next best-in-class methodology is using ultrasound-guided IV insertion. So if I can have somebody develop a tool to train with that fits on my mannequin for $0 and I can make money off of it, I think that's a pretty good exchange. And that's how we beat our competition is we let outside innovation help us scale faster on innovation than they can for free.
So you answered part of my question already, but you said you have 3 new products coming out this year. Can you give us a little teaser on what those might be?
Sure. So the first one is the wound cell, which is we're currently doing the study with Quinnipiac. We're arranging with DoD to do field testing at Fort Sam Houston down in San Antonio this summer. The other is our patient care mannequin with our major distribution partner. One of our strategies with our products is doing OEM variants, which is gets them locked in so they're branded on our product. And so they're looking at moving about 1,100 units of mannequins over the next 12 months to our product line. And then the other product that we have coming out, aside from our mannequin and the wound cell, is we were working with a company called MedVision to deliver some overlay systems for them, which is being able to change presentations on the mannequin systems that they have.